We have Brigida Linford, and she became a coach on April 26th of this year. And I did mention already, but I will mention again, she became Diamond in 49 days. And, you know, I had the pleasure of getting to go to Idaho and meet a lot of Scotty's leaders that were coming and emerging at the time. And she raced time to Diamond to be able to be at that retreat. We rented a cabin. And the coolest part about Brigida was not just getting to meet her, but getting to know her story and where she comes from and how things haven't always been so easy. And so I know it's been a journey for her, and it's a bigger mission than just reaching a rank. And so I wanted to have her come on and share a little bit about her journey and how she thinks that you guys can take some key points and apply it to yours to see success. So Brigida, if you will press start broadcasting, I will stop. And you're going to have control of the slides through the arrows.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Everything's good? Okay. Like Lindsay said, my name is Brigida Linford. It looks like Bridget on Facebook, but that's how my parents spelled my name. I was named after an ancestor, a Swiss ancestor, so yeah, it's Brigida. And I'm excited to talk to y'all today and to share the number one thing that I feel has helped me build my business. And that would be having a strong belief in me and in my abilities to do this business. And it was interesting to hear TJ speak, because, I mean, aren't you guys so impressed? That guy is so successful, right? I mean, he has done everything and been so successful in everything that he's tried. And I wish I could say that, but that's not me. In fact, I have always failed. I am a college dropout, and I didn't drop out just because I didn't like college. I actually got kicked out of Brigham Young University for having poor grades. And interesting enough, I actually chose to go to real estate school. I didn't tell my parents I got kicked out. I told them I wanted to go do real estate. So I got my license and I worked in that business for a year and I made zero money. I never had a buyer choose me to be their agent. I never sold a home. In fact, I never had a house listed. That's how badly I failed at being a real estate agent. But somehow I was able to get back into Brigham Young University, but I was kicked out a second time, again for having bad grades. Still couldn't figure things out. So I have this huge track record of failure. I mean, I could go on with all of the things that I have failed at and having low self-esteem. I was not that confident girl in high school that everybody wanted to be like. In fact, I was a dork. I mean, many of you have probably read my story or heard me tell my story, but if you haven't, basically the gist is I was severely depressed for the majority of my life. In fact, I would say I hated myself. I felt I had no value. I felt my life added nothing to the world. And I believed those things. Yeah, Scotty says he was a dork too. I believed those things so strongly that I was suicidal. And I landed myself in a mental hospital. And people always talk about that day. They look at someone successful and they think, why not me? Honestly, I was asking myself that for years, but I always had a question. I mean, I always had an answer to that question. I could list off several reasons why not me. I wasn't thin enough. I had bad acne. I had horrible skin. I still have like massive scars all over my face from having acne. I have a big nose. I have a track record of failure. I don't have social skills. I mean, people don't like me. I could always make this huge list of why why not me? And I would look at someone like Lindsay Matway and someone like Scotty Hobbs and think, well, of course they're successful. They have the personality characteristics that successful people have, and I don't have that. So for me to say that my strength is believing in myself, I hope that you can see how surprising and monumental that is. And I also hope that it gives you hope. Hope that if I can be successful and turn it around, so I believe in myself, so can you. Even if you have never felt confident a day in your life, even if you have a track record of failure, you can turn things around. And here's how I know that you can do that. The thing is, I have learned something profound. And I want you guys to listen really carefully to what I'm going to say. We were all born with the characteristics required to be successful. I mean, did you guys get that? You have everything that you need to succeed. You were designed to succeed. And that's what I want to prove to you guys today. Now, you may say, Brigitte, if everyone was designed to succeed, why are so many people failures? And you know what the difference is? The difference is successful people focus. They focus on the characteristics of success that everyone was born with, and they strengthen those things. And that's all you need to do. You tap into those characteristics of success that you were born with, and you strengthen them. So there's a super successful multi-millionaire entrepreneur, Dani Johnson. I'm sure you guys have heard of her. And guess what? She actually agrees with me. In her first book, well, I don't know if it's her first book, but in her book called The First Steps to Wealth, she goes over some key characteristics of successful people. She lists enthusiasm, being persistent. Boy, I don't know what just happened. Are the screens going all over the place right now? Okay, there we go. Having enthusiasm, being persistent, being a risk taker and adventurous, having faith, and having the gift to get over things. They are all important characteristics, but for the sake of time, I'm only going to go over 2 of those characteristics today. So number 1, enthusiasm. You were all born with enthusiasm. I know that kids are all different, but you know what they all have in common? Energy. Kids are the most energetic, enthusiastic people I know. And when you were a child, I bet that you got excited about things. I bet that you were passionate about something. Over time, you may have traded that enthusiasm for guarantees, but guess what? Those guarantees aren't getting you anywhere. So you need to go back. You need to go back to that childlike behavior of living with passion, because that's how you were designed, and that's how you need to live. Since you were born with enthusiasm, I know that you were born to succeed. And that fact should give you confidence and self-belief. You set your soul on fire and you let the world watch you burn. So how do you set your soul on fire? How do you go back to that childlike behavior of living with enthusiasm? Want to know how I do it? Every single morning, I have a scheduled 10 minutes. And it sounds dorky, I know this, but I lay there in bed, and before I get up, I visualize my goals. I remind myself of why I am doing this. And my why is that I know that all of my life struggles, all of my trials were meant to be overcome so I can help people feel hope. I am here to give people hope because that is the only thing that kept me alive, literally. And I know that not everyone is suicidal, but there are dreams that are dying. And there are people giving up hope. And I lay there in my bed and I visualize that one person who needs me, that person who is struggling. And I remind myself of my purpose here on earth, and it's to help that person. And I need to find them. And I am here to give people hope that not only can they set goals and achieve them, but they can live in financial security as well. The thing is, my husband went without work for 2 years. Neither one of us have a college degree. We couldn't go get a job. And we lived off of food storage and credit cards. There were times, we had 2 kids at the time, and there were times when I had to go around and gather up batteries that I hadn't opened up yet, and light bulbs and cleaning products. Basically anything that I could find that I could return to Walmart to get some money to feed my kids. And I remind myself that people are living like that every day. People need me. People need me to give them hope and show them that they can change their life. I visualize that, and I visualize my goals. I have a goal. We have always been so strapped and tied down, and I want freedom. So as soon as we pay off our house in 2014, we are moving to Hawaii, and we are going to live there for the summer. And so I lay there in my bed and I visualize myself laying on the beach in Hawaii and doing anything and everything that I want. I visualize those things and it fills me with passion. And it is a daily thing. I don't get out of bed until I have set my soul on fire, until I feel that burning passion and that enthusiasm that something wonderful is about to happen that day. The fact is, people will choose to follow you because they connect with your enthusiasm and with your passion. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And if you lead with enthusiasm and with passion, and you lead with your why, people will want to follow you. You need to figure out your why and be able to focus on that every single day with absolute clarity. If you are struggling to discover your why, there's a few questions that Alethea taught me to help coaches figure out their why. And they are, number one, what is it about Beachbody that you saw that you liked? Number two, what has Beachbody done for you so far? Number three, what do you want to do with it? You answer these questions and you will discover your why. You will discover what your passion is, and you need to have that passion. The second characteristic that Danny Johnson went over is persistence. Now, every single kid is persistent. When you were told no by your mom, what did you do? I bet you asked her 10 more times. I mean, think of when you were learning to walk. Isn't this a cute little picture? The little kid learning to walk. I bet that when you were learning to walk, you fell down more times than you were actually standing up. But what did you do? Did you tell yourself, guess I'm not supposed to walk? Do you look at Lindsay Matway and Scotty Hobbs and think, they were meant to walk, they were meant to be successful, but me, I'm just supposed to crawl. I'm meant to fail. I mean, do you see that connection? Because no, you didn't say that back then. So why are you saying it now? You were persistent, and you need to tap into that childlike behavior of persistence. You were designed with persistence, and that is what you will need to be successful. Your dreams won't happen unless you put in the work and be persistent. It doesn't matter how many times you fall, you get back up. Now, being persistent means that you are consistent with the little things. As I talked to Lindsay Matway about what to go over today, we talked about time management. Now, I've been a coach for 6 months. And the first 5 months of that, my husband was working 2 jobs. He was gone from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. most days of the week. And most Saturdays, he was gone all day long. In fact, we added it up and he was home 3 Saturdays this entire past summer. That's it. So I was pretty much a single mom with 3 young kids at home during the summer when they're out of school. So they were continually pestering me with complaints of boredom. I mean, it was, Mom, I'm bored. Entertain me. I don't know what to do. And I'm sure all of you moms out there know what I'm talking about. So yes, I have definitely had to learn to be good with time management. The thing is, I think that everyone knows what to do to manage their time. And I'm sure as I say that, so many of you are thinking there, like sitting there and thinking, Brigitte, no, I don't. I don't have a clue how to manage my time, but hear me out. People may tell me that they need to improve their time management, that they don't know how to manage their life, but you know what I hear? Is that they don't know how to be consistent. They have forgotten how to be persistent. I bet if you look over your life, you can recall at least one day, just one day in your life, that you were super productive and you got a million things done that day. You may have had a huge, long to-do list, but you did it. The problem is, and the hard part, is doing that day after day after day. The hard part is being consistent and persistent in honoring your schedule and following those 3 vital behaviors. That is the key to time management. Everything else, you already know. You already know that you need to make a list the night before of what to do the next day. You already know that you need to block out times for work and block out times for what I call the real world. You already know that you need to live in the moment and give the focus to where you are now. If it's mommy time, you focus on being a mom. If it's corporate world time, you give that your focus. You don't check Facebook, you don't text, you don't respond to emails, you live in the moment. It really helps me to think of a magnifying glass. And if you use it to focus the sun's light on a single leaf, it will catch on fire, right? But what happens when you move that magnifying glass around several different leaves? Do they catch fire? No, they don't. It only catches fire when there is intensifying focus. And that's how you have to be when you commit to your schedule. You can't let that focus be split. You have to be consistent in living by a schedule, by a calendar. and make that 10 daily list of things to do in your business. And you already know this. You already know that you need to use the business activity tracker in the back office. You already know that you can't do just business related activities, but you need to do business building activities every single day. You know that you need to eat that frog. Put that most important, hardest thing for you to do and do it first. And I'll be honest, I think for most of us, eating that frog, that hard thing, is inviting new people and adding people to our contact lead list. So you know what I do? I say we do that first. Call someone up, get someone on a text, get on Facebook, and send someone new a personal invitation to join your next challenge group. Invite them to a fit club. Invite them to join your business. And guess what, guys? I don't think that status updates are good. Well, they're good. I shouldn't have said that. But not everyone sees your post. Just because you have 1,000 friends on Facebook does not mean that you just invited 1,000 people when you posted a status update inviting people to your challenge group. You have to do more. Status updates are important, but don't fool yourself into thinking you just worked for 4 hours because you were on Facebook surfing the news feed and posting status updates. For your time on Facebook to count as business building activity and not a business related activity, you need to actively invite people one-on-one and do that first so you can eat that frog and get it out of the way. But take comfort in knowing that you were born with these characteristics. You just need to focus on them and strengthen them. You strengthen that characteristic of persistence and consistency in your time management by reading books. Eat that frog. Go into that back office and look under that Success magazine tab and watch videos on time management. There is so much good information out there. And you know what else helps me be consistent? It goes back to what I was already telling you guys. Laying in bed and visualizing my goals. It sounds simple, but it is so powerful for me. When you daily set your soul on fire, you are willing to do whatever it takes to daily reach your goals. Because you know that the future belongs to the people who are willing to get their hands dirty. I remember listening to a team call. It was a national call with Melissa McAllister. And she made this point that I always think about. If my team were to do the same things I did today, would they have built their business? Now, each one of you has a team, and you have people that are looking up to you. Are you being consistent? Are you being persistent in doing all of the little things that you know you should be doing? Are you a role model for others? If your team emulated you, would they be successful? Would they be growing their business? The thing is, you can't set a goal one day and then just forget about it. We all create these dream boards and these vision boards, but do you just leave it up on your computer, never to be seen or thought of again? You have to daily remind yourself of what you want and daily move closer to that goal. You wake up with determination, and you do that by visualizing your goals, and then you go do. That way, you can go to bed with satisfaction, knowing that you moved forward that day. Success is a sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. Are you being persistent daily in moving forward? Because it's not enough to brush your teeth for an hour once a week, right? You have to daily brush your teeth. And it's the same thing in this business. You need to do those business building activities that are listed in the business activity tracker. And you need to do those things daily. Do the things mentioned in the game plan, and do those 3 vital behaviors. Danny Johnson talks about the law of promotion. And the law of promotion states, if you can be faithful to the little things, if you can cause what is in front of you to prosper and grow, then you will be made a ruler over much more. You prosper where you are planted. Start where you are. Use what you have and do what you can. If you are persistent in this, your business will grow. So as I conclude, I just want to go over these characteristics that are mentioned that successful people have. Having enthusiasm, being persistent, being a risk taker, having faith, and having the gift to get over things. We have only had enough time to go over the first 2, but take some time today to think about these remaining characteristics and think of how you have those characteristics within you. You just need to let yourself be yourself. Be the person you were meant to be. Because I promise you, you were born with these key characteristics that are required to succeed. You only need to focus on them and strengthen them. I promise you that you have what it takes. You need to be a role model for others, but you have to be able to self-motivate. If you are going to motivate someone else, you know what to do, so just do it. And as you do, you will reach people that no one else can. Scotty and I, we both know a lot of the same people here in Idaho Falls. I mean, Idaho Falls is a small town, but it doesn't matter that we know the same people because Scotty connects with people that I don't connect with, and vice versa. And it doesn't matter if you have Lindsay Matway and Scotty Hobbs, and they all live in your hometown. The world needs you. You are but one person, but it doesn't matter. You matter. And if you give up, if you quit, if you fail to self-motivate and fail to focus and strengthen those key characteristics that you were born with, there are people who will never see what they are worth. But you do. What you do every single day matters. So you make it count. Every single day you set your soul on fire so the world can watch you burn. You live up to your true potential. Be the person you know you should be. I promise you that if you believe in yourself and you let your light shine forth, you will give other people permission to do the same. So that's all I have. I'm sorry for getting a little emotional, but I appreciate this opportunity to talk with you guys. If you've been writing little comments below, I've been ignoring it. So thank you, Lindsay.